feel almost certain that I forgot an important step. And I don't have like a pre-launch checklist like I said I was going to have one day, where I could like go through with the clipboard and flip switches and be like, did I close the bathroom door? Yes, close the bathroom door. Did I change the stream title? That's step 2, I guess. I think I changed the stream title. Did I change my little subtitle beneath my name, which is not funny anymore? I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that anymore. Oh no, my voice. I know. I don't. Am I sick? Is it allergies? Is it a combination of everything? Is it the fact that my hello? Yes. Hi. Alert. That yes, alert is enabled. Is it that my downstairs neighbor smokes all kinds of things, and so when I'm home, I have these sinus and throat problems? I know my throat's doing some cool stuff today. Should I just should I just speak lower? Hello, Draclin. Hello, life is yours. It's not very comfortable for me to speak like this. Ransomy? Wait, what does that mean? Is this good? Okay, did you just... That's what she said, your own joke? Oh yeah, I have... Draclin, if you ever want to see Life is Yours again, give me your teeth. Give me all of your teeth. Every one of your teeth. That's a thing, I don't know why, of all the things in 1984, that's the thing that really stuck with me. How they pull... I feel like I look a little ill, don't I? Got these more than normal sick bags. I got my new haircut though. I got this sick underfade that is also at the same place as my gray hair. So it's hard to tell if it's... Wait, not underfade. This mid fade kind of undercut. Is it gray? Who knows? Who can tell? Give me every single one of your teeth. Oh yeah, anyway, I was halfway in a thought there. That thing in... For some reason that stuck to me as like one of the most sinister things of the whole, whatever, re-education of Winston, when they pull out all of his teeth as torture, but then they give him new teeth and he's really grateful to it, and he like loves his captors because they gave him new teeth. That's how I remember it anyway. I know, you did a better job. I should get you to cut my hair. Getting haircuts drives me insane. It is one of my least favorite things. It stresses me out. I don't like the atmosphere of the barbershop. I don't like the chattiness of the barbershop. I don't like being captive in a chair. I don't like the small talk. I don't like the cost. There's like every aspect of the haircutting experience, the like touching the personal space invasion. I just don't like it. It's not my jam. It got me thinking, there's all these incredibly precise computer-controlled machines that do incredibly precise, perfect operations. Oh, I can't just have that. Just like put my head in a 6-axis mill and have the mill just mill my hair. Mill a nice haircut. I went a long time only cutting my own hair, and I would grow it out kind of, and then I would shave it all off, and it always looked terrible. I feel like when you're young, you can pull off like the scrappy did my own haircut look. Not that my haircut's really precise, but at least it's kind of a haircut. I feel like the older you get, the less reasonable it is to look like you gave yourself your haircut. Maybe that's some like self-ageism. Oh, very youthful. Aw, shucks. Thanks. Wait, you start plotting ideas? Do you really have to like plot an idea? Isn't that what games like, what was that game? Cow Clicker? Like, isn't there a whole realm of idle clickers that are kind of in that started out as sort of a commentary of the instant pleasure thing, but then launched a whole genre of clickers? It like accidentally backfired. Yours doesn't look like you did it yourself, but do you have this sick fade? I don't even know if I like the sick fade. We don't have to make clickers, but I feel like clickers is like a distill. What are we doing here? Wait a minute. I'm supposed to be doing something. I'm supposed to be remembering how heat works. Well, we could make a clicker with Twitch. Sure. Because the thing I want to try to do today. Okay, so here's the deal. I just closed out Yeah, heat's on, I think. Click me. Click it. Finished a contract today. It's done. I got an invoice. That's awesome. Going to start a new contract with Twitch to do this thing for TwitchCon, which I actually should be doing, probably doing that statement of work right now. But instead, yeah, click every one of my teeth. Do it. Can you? The teeth, the exposure of my camera isn't properly calibrated for my teeth. My teeth get blown out. This camera can't handle my teeth. Jeez. I never had braces. This is me. This is my teeth. I was born with these teeth. Now, I was born with these teeth. When I was born, they were up inside my skull, but they were there from the start. They're really not that perfect. They are not as white as this video makes them seem. They also have crazy irregularities, like they're almost serrated on the edges, and I have chips in them, and I have receding gum problems. It's not great. My teeth aren't that great. I did not. Well, yes, alignment of my teeth. I will admit, you know, there's many ways in which I did not win the genetic lottery, but I will admit that in terms of teeth straightness and eye, durability, eye effectiveness, I did okay. I did pretty reasonably well in terms of straight teeth and eyes that function without any kind of secondary prosthesis, any other parts. You have potato chips? Is that what you call them now? Are you manually writing on me? Are you lolling? Okay, so right, how does heat work? Does anybody remember? Ooh, potato gold. Potato chips are called potato gold? I like that. That sounds totally Texas. Can we start saying that? I want that to be a thing. I want that to be a thing. Okay, so I actually didn't prepare for this at all, which should be unsurprising to you. Did I make you cringe saying totally Texas? Is that like if I tried to say some youthful Generation Z slang, it would make you cringe? A Detroit hot dog. That sounds totally Texas. Okay, I'm trying to install this Twitch developer rig. So one of the things, I got a laundry list of things. Don't cry, please don't cry. To do on heat. The thing is, I don't remember how anything works. I remember that I had a plan to do some kind of mobile version. Laughing is totally Texas, right? Totally Texas. Okay, I need to apparently update my Twitch developer rig. Talk amongst yourselves as I do so. So I destroyed my phone in a lake. Did I talk about this yet? Had I already destroyed it last time I streamed? I don't think I had. Windows Security Advisor is advising me to do something. Check apps and files is turned off. Let's try it on. Did that mess up the stream? I don't know. I know it's not very interesting when I am logging into things, but hey, gotta protect. Oh no! Oh, I hope I can even get in. So I destroyed my phone on Monday in an uncharacteristically absent-minded way, but it was Labor Day, and I went to Lake Trillium, which is gorgeous, and I had a lot on my mind, some family things and personal things and all these things, and somehow just managed to just jump right into the lake with my phone in my pocket. which is not, I'm not normally very careful of my electronics and whatnot. So I destroyed my phone, and I don't really want to buy a new phone. It was the iPhone 6s, the last one to still have a headphone jack, but I'm being forced into the future, and I'm not very excited about it. But I couldn't just buy a new phone because Apple's going to announce new phones next week. So I had to break this out. This Galaxy 6S, a contemporary of my, S6, a contemporary of my 6S. Although this, even though my iPhone still will run the latest version of iOS, this machine will not run the latest version of Android, so I'm stuck with N. And I hate it. I don't like it very much, but hopefully will get me through to next week. I jumped in on purpose. I really did. I just wanted to get in there. Android is terrible. Also, iPhones are terrible. Turns out that phones are just terrible, but they're maybe less terrible than computers. It's hard to say. It's all bad. It's all just bad stuff. How do I update you, Twitch developer rig? Do I even have to do anything, or you just will do it? However, iPhones offer me something I really like, which is Apple Photos. I like that, and I like iMessage. I like that. Everything else, kind of take it or leave it. But those things are pretty good. Yeah, Android on Samsung devices was pretty annoying because, especially when I first had it and it was paired with AT&T, it was like to get an update, it had to come from Google, but then also Samsung had to do their thing to it, and then AT&T also had to do their thing to it, and it was maybe months later you would get an update. Like, it's just not like, if I was going to get an Android phone, I'd probably get a Pixel, so at least you do have the hardware software connectivity. But I don't know, man. It all sucks. It's all bad. Just, we should be clear about that. They're more alike than they are different, and the ways in which they are alike are mostly bad. Okay, I appear to have the Twitch developer rig going here. And when I do that, you can see what's going on in Discord. Is there anything private in there? I actually don't like that. I don't like that when I'm snapping things, it does this and shows other windows and shows my panel. I think that's not great. I wish that was not a feature. I wish I could snap without doing that. But really, the thing that keeps me, I feel like most, so I don't really want a new iPhone, but I'll probably get one. I hate my Apple laptop. I'm sure I'm on record on this, that my previous 2011 13-inch MacBook Air was the best computer I've ever owned in my life. And this computer, 2016 MacBook Pro, 13-inch with Touch Bar, is the worst computer probably I've ever owned in my life. And so it's almost enough to make me never want to buy an Apple computer, because now all of their computers, all MacBook Pros have terrible touch bars. All of the keyboards suck. Ooh, cool. System multitasking. Tasking? I'm actually surprised that is a... Thanks, Dracklin. That seems like an uncharacteristically deep setting for Windows to offer. I don't even know how to find that, though. Settings, system, multitasking. There's so many layers of settings in Windows now. Ah, yes. When I snap a window, show what I can snap to next. Cool. Thank you for that. I tend to try to not be a person that I like, for years of like working in situations where I have to use other people's computers a lot, like at whatever, studios or schools or whatever, I often have to use other people's computers. I tend to try to run things pretty stock, like not a ton of custom keyboard shortcuts and stuff like that. Otherwise, I just can't use other people's machines. And I don't really like having to go tweak settings like this one, because that means like, oh, if I reinstall or whatever, I have to remember to do that, which is a little annoying. I don't necessarily have a great solution for that, but it does. Yeah, kind of what I want is like some Like I almost want OBS or something to have a button that's like, hey, you know how when in Discord it'd be like, hey, we're in stream mode. We're in stream mode, be cool. I kind of want Windows to have that. In fact, I think I gave that as feedback of Windows Insider Program is I want a way to say like, I want to be in privacy mode at the OS level and just have one button I can click that puts the whole system in that privacy mode where I will not accidentally dox myself. And I feel like the more and more people stream and the more Microsoft itself is relying on streaming as a core part of their business plan, that should be a thing. Maybe someday. Does anybody remember how any of this works? Probably I need Visual Studio Code and then I just need to go find some. I'm going to accidentally probably show some stuff I shouldn't. Because I've been doing work on this computer. That's an example. There are things that I've worked on, like, you know, that thing that's happened to me before, like, oh, I opened Photoshop and suddenly you see all the files I've been working on recently, or I open Illustrator and it shows all those files. My Visual Studio Code Open Recent could potentially show in its little history client projects that are not really supposed to be seen, which is not cool. So I guess I will go file open recent, clear recently opened. That's just not great. I mean, I get maybe at the end of the day, it's just on me that I shouldn't stream from a computer that I do sensitive work on. Okay, you remember how to use Heat? Awesome. I think what we have to work on is Heat Twitch is the actual thing, right? Like that's the actual business here. This isn't right though. Didn't we make a Heat version 1.1? Didn't I like push that? I don't remember. User profiles? I guess I could, but then I'd like, I actually have done that before, like to do demos, like if I'm gonna go someplace in the world and do a demo, make a demo account, but then I just don't have anything. It's like, well, this account has nothing, not even necessarily the files. So I guess I could like go to one account, push everything to a Git repository, switch to that account and pull everything, like just maybe the way to do it. Okay, I need, I don't remember how to do anything with extensions. My extensions, I thought I made a new version. Is that not a thing that I did? I thought that for some reason there was something that happened and I needed to push that new version that, yeah, okay, in April. No, not true. Extensions, Heat, manage Heat. Oh, I'm sorry. Version 0.1.0 is the second version. The first version was 0.0.1. Okay, so this one's from March 3rd, so that actually is correct. So we're good. It's all good. Everything's good, everybody. Okay, so this is the latest version. I might argue that if we're going to make a new version, that it should be version 0.2.0 because mobile will be a totally new feature of Heat, right? It just happened, the stupid freeze thing. I don't know if I'm still recording. Okay. My PC does this now. When I left for Pittsburgh, am I streaming? Am I streaming? Am I streaming now? Okay, I had to refresh. Chat, am I actually streaming? Hello? Anyone? Can anyone hear me? Okay, did it freeze? Bitrage? So my computer just straight up freezes periodically now. When I left for Pittsburgh, it did not do that. And then when I got back, I didn't do much but like turn it on and install the latest Windows updates and update a few pieces of software, but like have made no drastic changes. So what is that? Is it a new Windows 10 thing? I tried to look around for like, I saw some like hard freezes for the Windows 10 update from May. But what is causing this and how can I diagnose it? Like Event Viewer, is that the thing to do? I just feel like I don't even know on Windows where to look. Like, do I look in an Event Viewer application or Event Viewer system? So it would have been like, so I got a warning. Oh, so I have a warning that is the network interface killer E2000 gigabit Ethernet controller has begun resetting. There will be a momentary disruption in network connectivity while the hardware resets. The network driver detected that its hardware has stopped responding to commands. This network interface has reset one time since it was last initialized. That seems like a likely candidate for my problem, maybe? That my Ethernet card is freaking out? I mean, one thing that has changed is that I got a new, faster internet connection and a new cable modem, but same router and stuff. My computer just can't handle the speed. I don't want to use Killer. What do I want to use instead? Just Microsoft? I mean, I probably don't want to like change my driver in the middle of the stream, I'm guessing, right? Killer network driver causing freezing and rust. Just use the Intel. I don't really want to deal with this now. I guess we'll see if it continues to happen. But okay, that seems like a likely culprit, right? That my Ethernet driver sucks. Cool. Fun. I know. This makes for good streams, diagnosing stream issues. Okay, what are we doing again? So there's some way that I can like push a button, right? And get mobile. Whoa. Oh, they've got new stuff. Cool. So there's some way that I can say, maybe I have to do that on the developer dashboard. Can I like clone this? Oh yeah, it's gonna be great. 0.2.0. And it is gonna do what? How does this work? Does anyone remember anything? Somewhere there's the thing where you say like, hey, this thing can do, be a mobile friend. Okay, yeah, okay, on asset hosting, the type of extension, video full screen, and then I can also check mobile. HTML file that be shown to viewers on mobile devices. This page is presented to viewers as a panel behind the chat area of the mobile app. What? Okay, hold on. The HTML file that will be shown to viewers on mobile devices Let's look at this together, shall we? This sounds annoying. To run this extension on iOS, you must be a member of the Apple Developer Program. If you wish to develop a mobile version of iOS, please contact Twitch support and provide your Apple Developer account. I mean, I am, but doesn't that seem insane? This page is presented to viewers as a panel behind the chat area of the mobile app. That doesn't sound like it really does what I want, though. Oh, okay. You just get like a whole new panel here. So, go Android. Great. It lets me do potentially insecure things. So is this what happens? Like I just get... So yeah, this is what I kind of remember, is that we would never be able to click on the video on Android. We would only be able to click on kind of an XY pad, which kind of sucks. I mean, you wouldn't really... How could you do something precise like the sequencer with this? There's not a great way? I mean, because essentially you'd be clicking on here as a guess of where you'd be clicking on the main screen, which is not great. Okay, I need some ideas here. So the lowest hanging fruit is probably just to like make this and make it kind of an XY pad, and it's just not going to be very precise, and you'll click on a certain part of the screen that maps, you know, sort of normalized to a click on the video itself, which is not great, but that would be the easiest thing, is like, oh, a click right here is going to translate to a click right here, and that's that. Once I go beyond that, it's like we're suddenly doing a totally custom extension for this thing. Like if I'm like, oh, well, we're going to do the sequencer thing. Let's show the sequencer here and keep it all synchronized and all that jazz. But that's like a brand new extension. What do we think about this? Thoughts, opinions? I mean, maybe we do that just to start with because it's easily the easiest path forward. Although this iOS thing including the ability to test on iOS. So I can't even test on iOS. Cool. Really cool. Super cool. Well, that, you know, just sucks. That's a thing that sucks. It's not Twitch's fault. Okay. Well, I guess we just start moving forward on this path because I don't have a... Do I still want an iPhone? Yeah, I do, of course. I mean, I am an Apple developer. It just seems crazy that for a web-based thing, I would need to do that. Very surprising. How do I get this to point to the new version I just made? So in development, I now have heat 0.2.0. Oh, do I need to edit my manifest or something? Or do I need to do this? Okay, yeah, overlay mobile. So, I should now be able to add my mobile view. And we'll just pretend that I have a iPhone 7 and portrait. The view of a logged in viewer. I definitely changed some of this since last we looked. Okay. So I kind of wonder if I can just do this. Can I not duplicate a file in VS Code? I'm still just stunned by that detail. Why does it say unlinked? How does this work? Is this not this? Oh, maybe I have to like... This is not the same place. That seemed like it loaded the mobile. So did these, I can't remember if these actually do that. Like if these actually, oh, do I have to do this? That shows the thing. It's like this doesn't though, somehow. Like this does the thing. This seemingly kind of does the thing. I've got a little bit of heat over here. A little smidgen of heat in the corner. Maybe that's how this is supposed to be though, with the videos over here. So Yeah, okay. So this is weird. The distortion's just going to be crazy. Like, if I'm in this mode and the video is all over here and my extension is in this aspect ratio, and it's like when I click in this corner, it's still this corner. Like, it's a very warped experience. It doesn't feel like it's going to be a great experience. So I guess the question is it better than nothing, or is it worse than nothing? Yi? What does yi mean? Yi, it's better than nothing, or yi, it's worse? Because otherwise, this like kind of comes in and just works. I'd want to have some kind of grid background or something, but kind of works. Warped and bad. Wait, I should do it warped and bad, or I just shouldn't do it at all? I could try to, maybe if I could get the video resolution, I could at least like match the aspect ratio. It just doesn't. Is this worth doing in this weird way? It is worth doing. You just want to play your tank game on your phone. Is that it? Oh, look, my mobile clicks are working. Wow. You don't want to play your tank game? I'm having a hard time telling exactly what you're... Okay. You don't want to... I'm so confused by what you're telling me. Can you form a complete sentence and tell me your stance on this? Because these responses are a little confusing. Give me a 1 to 2 sentence summary of your current stance on this predicament, please. I mean, just for like ambient play with weird stuff, it's not so bad. But it kind of defeats the precise, like, I'm clicking a thing. You like turtles? Okay, thank you. That helps. That definitely helps. So here's a middle ground. Maybe. I'm not sure that this would be great either. But a middle ground could be, since what this is really for, like what we're like, at least in the near term, what we're really trying to solve for is this TwitchCon thing. Yeah, I think we'll end up with bigger pads. Yeah, so the problem at hand, right, is specifically that for TwitchCon, we want to do something with specifically we want to do something with the sequencer, right? Like that's our whole jam here. And we have a list of things to do. Mojito, how's it going? So I don't necessarily like the idea of making the Heat mobile interface like hyper curated to one Heat experience, but you know, that's the thing that's on the horizon. So we could like kind of make the case that like, oh, just on mobile, for now, we will kind of specifically cater what we're doing to this interface. But these aspect ratios, I'm not sure that really, I mean, this one wouldn't be so bad, but the grid would be so different. was wondering when I would stream again too. I'm still trying to find a new streaming schedule that works with work schedule and all that good stuff. So I don't know. I definitely want to get back into the swing of streaming more for sure. And Twitch said it was okay if I stream working on stuff for TwitchCon. So I will definitely be working on stuff for TwitchCon. So I will definitely be streaming. What do I do about this? What's our solution here? I mean, one answer is to kind of say that currently Twitch's mobile implementation is just not ideal for this. However, I've almost already done the thing. Like, I've almost already done it. So the aspect ratio thing is pretty crazy though. Like the idea that we have to put heat in this tall skinny rectangle in a reasonable way that you'll feel like you're controlling this. Okay, here's what I'm kind of leaning towards saying is like the real way to contribute to this is with real desktop heat, and that's where you feel like you have the control, and it's going to be chaotic and insane anyway. And maybe the mobile version, I'm almost leaning towards maybe part of the packet, the heat packet tells you that it came from mobile, and maybe we do something else with mobile clicks, like hype meter or something. Because I guess I'm thinking like just getting clicks is basically done. It's just having those be useful things is kind of a problem. So it's not hard to get the clicks. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe plot, emote, something like that. Like some other thing that happens. Or something even musical. Like it helps change the tempo or changes the scale or contributes in some other way. That's hard because what are you clicking to make choices though? Because you're just clicking this big empty pad kind of. Yeah, it's tricky. Tricky. So it's a compromised experience in general. And then we have this potentially stupid Apple developer thing that is this whole other problem. I need a oh no, frozen again. That was a bad, ooh, it froze on a bad frame of me. It was not a flattering frame I just froze on. Do I need to just admit to myself in the world that I think I'm sick? Is that where we are? So I kind of want a grid. I don't know the best way to do this with that's kind of clever. Tile. Can I use linear gradient? Opera Mini. Well, most people don't use Opera Mini, so basically everything else seems reasonable. Man, Opera Mini just doesn't support anything, does it? 2015. I don't think we have to serve the Opera Mini. What heat means, heat is a way that I can take clicks on the video, and there is JavaScript running in your browser that will then take the coordinates of those clicks and connect to a server that I wrote that's called the Extension Backend Service. And the data about your clicks is sent there, and then it's sent from there to me. So you click in your web browser, JavaScript takes that information, sends it to an Extension Backend Service written in Node.js, and then it sends it to me, and then I do whatever I want with it. Most of the stuff I've done with it is to capture it also in web JavaScript land and then draw stuff with it. And it's based on the Twitch extension realm, which is all web based, all browser based. So it's all HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Is this gonna work? Can I just try this grid thing? Otherwise I just have to make a little image, I guess. Nope, I didn't copy what I meant to copy, did I? No, I don't know what browser that was. What's this one? Come here. Come on. Come on. Nailed it. Is this the background color? What is actually determining? Is that not the right syntax? It's just background. But then will that be superseded by this? Can't do that. I should have paid more attention to that code pen. What did we do here? Nothing. But that's just the default web background, I guess. It's not background color. Yeah, why does that work? But this works. This is exactly what I have. Something about okay. Not exactly sure what did different there, but sure. Is this the color of the circle? No? What is that color? It is that color. Okay, that's the color of the circle. Is this the color of the background then? Yes, okay, so we don't actually need this. I mean, this could just be whatever we wanted. Well, I don't know if I like this, but now we got some polka dots, so it's not totally blank. We got that going for us. Maybe I like the stripes better though. Maybe I like both. Still a little aghast at this situation we're in. With all this business. I just startled myself. I forgot that the sequencer was still open. It's like, what is this music? What is this music coming from? A new version of Unity Hub? Sure. Of course I want to. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Man, now I really hear my voice. Oof. It's resonating in my own skull. Okay, so what do I actually want to do here? Did I leave that window open? Oh no, we're never gonna find it. The stripey. Pretty interesting technique. Feels not like it would always work. Feels like it would break sometimes. Wait, is that the same as gray? It is. Oops. Okay, well, you know, then we can make a thing. Maybe it should be heat purple. Should probably use some colors from Heatland. Well, the stuff comes through, so like, functionally it's done? Is that what we're deciding here? So, like, do we have some colors in here? Do we not have our purple? Here's our heat colors. Oh, that's a nightmare. Wow. That's like eye searing. Pretty good. Oh man, can't even look at it. It's too beautiful. Maybe we just do like a darker version of this. Or the inverse of that. Kind of sucks. Kind of sucks. So, the thing we would have to do to really test this is the following. We would have to zip it up and send it on its way. I don't even know what drive it's on. The E drive, of course. Uh-oh. Receive from async broadcast Google search files. What is this? Seems like that shouldn't be there. Cool. I think my computer might be haunted. A ghost? An angry spirit? Okay, well, let's ignore the computer ghosts for the moment. And we will do what? We will find heat? Did I make heat this year? It feels like 100 years ago. So heat twitch, we need to zip it up. Right? It's the 6th of September already. Where's the time going? Where's my life going? Okay, we will upload this thing. I forgot I got Super Hot VR. I need to play that. Okay. Hosted test. So this now means so now am I seeing the version on the server? Yeah, I guess. No? Maybe? Is this the actual hosted real life business? I assume it is. Okay, so now what? So, life is yours. Are you still there? Did you vanish? You're right here. Hello, my friend. I guess I'm going to try to deploy this and have a test mobile version. So if I do... You're already a testing account. So if I do view on Twitch and install, I can install 0.2.0. I'm so confused. I have too many versions of... How do I know that I have Heat 2.0? Okay. Heat 2.0 is installed. All right, I'm going to refresh this. I'm going to lose chat for a second. So, is this now Heap 2.0? You got the mobile version already? I just pushed the button. Is that clicking happening on mobile? I don't even feel like I have Heat as an option somehow. How come you can do that, not me? How dare you? Well, I want to do it. Let me install Twitch on this terrible phone. I got Android 6. This phone feels so cheap. Like this phone's broken, but it just has a better feel in your hand. It feels like there's something to it. This just feels like cheap plastic. Twitch, you say? Cool. Okay, yeah. So we're gonna have the. How bad is it? Does it feel horrible? It probably feels horrible, right? Because you kind of have no control over what you're doing. I have one other idea, but I'm not sure I even want to say it. It doesn't feel horrible? Look at it. I gotta install it so I can see it. What if you want to click my teeth? You don't have exact teeth control. I can't type my own name. I gotta get a password from 1Password. I gotta actually do some work at some point. I mean, I guess this is kind of work, even though the contract hasn't started yet, but. Are you clicking anything? Is it broken? Is it working? I don't even know. Is this where my teeth are? Really got to get down in the corner to get the old teeth. Laughitchers, when are you streaming next? When are we all gonna start a, Final Fantasy 14 guild, and all ruin our lives? I can lose all my jobs. Draklin can lose his job. You can drop out of school, and we'll all just play Final Fantasy 14 all day. Sounds pretty good. Oh, my Twitch password is a disaster. I have to type this. Oh. Oh man, crazy. Wow. So, oof. All I really play, I played some. I played game that actually I think were not technically Final Fantasy games in Japan. Is this true? That Final Fantasy Adventures was actually some other series? What's the rule on that? The odd one in, how's it going? Final Fantasy Adventures that was on the Game Boy, I think might have been a different series in Japan. Anyway, Final Fantasy Adventures 3? Maybe 1 on Game Boy was one of my favorite games growing up. The final boss was God. You had to basically fight and kill God. And you had a cool future motorcycle and some nuclear weapons. And that's how I beat God. I can't do this. I can't type this password. This is gibberish. Okay, so we're all gonna quit everything. We're gonna drop out of our lives. We're gonna start a Final Fantasy 14 guild, and it's gonna be amazing. Is that our plan? Does this mean no one else can use Heat right now because I have my developer version installed? Okay, I'm gonna try to type this. Ooh. What a disaster. I don't know. Please bear with me. Apologize. Technology is bad. It was a bad idea. Our Final Fantasy guild is going to be staunchly anti-technology. Oh, yeah, so that's the one I loved when I was a kid, Final Fantasy Adventure. But then, as a young adult, I wasted a kind of upsetting amount of my life playing Final Fantasy XI, which maybe was good, because I feel like I encountered and dealt with that MMO addiction kind of before WoW became a thing. And so I feel like maybe if I hadn't done that, I would have started playing WoW and I would still be playing WoW. So it was only, I think it was only by virtue of dealing with my addiction through Final Fantasy XI that I was able to escape WoW addiction, maybe. So, I know this is boring. I apologize. I shouldn't apologize. My streams are always boring, right? Mojito, have a great time. If I hooked up the grid to send the data instead of XY, so you think instead of clicking a specific point, you're kind of really just clicking a grid coordinate? Yeah, but on browser, you're a tester, so you'd see the new thing. But okay, I could see that. Kind of like when I'm on mobile, I'm specifically clicking grid coordinates, and then the whole grid lights up, basically. The problem that I see with that is there'd be like no relationship between the grid you're seeing. There'd be no relationship to the grid you're seeing in device, in the extension, and the grid you're seeing on the screen for the sequencer specifically, since they're both grids. Unless I did a thing where I cheated it and was like, okay, for this extension, this event for TwitchCon, I make it so they do actually match up. Yeah, it's separate, but it essentially means you're going to have a grid over here where the extension is, and then a grid here where the stream is, and those grids won't necessarily have... I know, you're right. I mean, I guess another thing I could do is use the configuration service, which I haven't used yet, to feed you a grid resolution. Okay, I think I'm logged into Twitch now. I just got a crazy email. So you know all the stuff that I did at PNCA? Probably shouldn't talk about this too much, but like the workshops I taught at PNCA for this particular group at PNCA called Make Think Code, there is total insanity happening in that realm at the moment. It's kind of nuts. Okay, where's my... Hey, that's me. In that realm at the moment. It's kind of nuts. Oh, look, I can gift myself a sub? I deserve it. Okay, so if I click on heat and I accept that it's a test thing, is that what I look like? I look tired. I think that's just what it means. This is actually a line from... I was about to accidentally quote... kind of bad. I don't know. It's pretty crazy. It's a structural shakeup that is quite dramatic, it seems, in such a way that I do not think I will be doing workshops there. Heat is probably, I'm thinking, unfortunately, a thing you can't use right now because I'm testing a development version, but it is a way that you can click on my video and feed live coordinates. So like right now, if I go over, actually, or Life is Yours, like this is the development version of Heat. I'm working on the mobile version right now. When I click here, you should see on the video stream a bunch of blue heat map stuff appearing, and if it's working, I should be able to do it here. Oh, except Life is Yours, when you click it, does your whole div flash? Why does that happen? It's kind of cool. The whole div flashes in an insane way. Look at the cool rave. Look at the cool rave here. Oh wait, I messed it up. Don't look at that. Why does that happen? It's pretty weird. Doesn't happen over here. Sometimes it seems like it doesn't register clicks too, which is also not great. But again, that might just be my terrible phone. So yeah, odd one, and we wrote it for this extension contest. Here's another example where to give you the ability to click on the video and like do stuff weird real in time to the video. And so I'm doing something with Twitch for TwitchCon using this, and so I have some new features I need to add. And one of the features I'm trying to add at this moment is mobile support. Maybe I already explained that fully. Sometimes while I'm streaming, my mouth is just like on autopilot, and I probably repeat myself a lot, so I apologize. That flash is a pretty weird thing. I don't know actually what would cause that. Okay, so how bad is it with the sequencer? I guess is our real test here. I mean, it really just has no relation. Oh, and my video is so behind. I mean, maybe if it's just styled totally differently, it won't really matter. Ugh, the audio is terrible when it's in OBS. It just doesn't sound as good. Let's try it over here somewhere. That's not a URL. Why didn't the sequencer start? Oh, does it not work in Chrome? Is that true? I can't even remember. It's been so long since we did all this stuff. I think this one maybe only works in Firefox. Sounds a little better. Oh yeah, I had to do something, right? Like I had to click and make a sound play. Oh, awesome. Odd one in. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. You have weird taste in streams if this got you to subscribe, just making weird noises. Are you able to use Heat right now? Like, I think when I'm in this dev mode, maybe people can't use it unless they are in the on the developer list. Yeah, this is a tough one. This is one of those things where it's this question of like, so this is definitely a compromised experience. Like this is a worse version of Heat. So it's one of those questions is like, is anything better than nothing, or is nothing better than the compromised version? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that right now. Like there are certain experiences where this is totally fine. Like Paint would probably be fine, right? Like Paint, you're just making a crazy mess anyway. So Paint. Also, now that I think about it, the low latency streaming probably doesn't work on Android. So how is your latency pretty bad, Life Is Yours, on your phone? Because it feels pretty bad for me on mine. I got yellowed all over the place. Embarrassing. I yellowed the whole stream. Oh, really? It's better than your PC? Because I thought that the low latency mode like only worked in Chrome on desktop or something like that. Latency's pretty bad. That's okay. We'll just have a little rave for a little while, right? Pleasant little rave. Never hurt anybody. I do not know how to use Android. I continually hit the wrong thing. Okay. Is that me? I'm pink now. Magenta. What do we do, everybody? So here's another option, and I hesitate to even say it. The other option is to say that, I don't think I want to say it. The other option is to say that this TwitchCon thing is important enough that it gets a custom extension. It gets like a custom version of Heat. Like maybe it still uses the Heat backend, but that the front end extension is like Heat Sequencer or something. Like it's a specific. I don't even actually know if I can do that. Like use the same extension backend service. I assume that I can. Yeah, but basically say that. Then we could do a bespoke kind of mobile thing. That still would be a problem. Like it still would not be the best experience at all, but at least would be. Absolutely. I mean, for sure. The point of Heat was definitely just serve the clicks. I guess the idea was that. Yeah, I guess the idea was always that the front end was fully generic and then the back end could be whatever you want. And I guess what I'm proposing here is an instance of Heat in which the front end is not generic. Although, another alternative here is that there are just some modes of Heat that configure what the front end shows you. And one of those could be point-based and one of those could be grid-based. That doesn't sound bad. That like something you can configure about Heat on the back end is to say, make the front end experience a point-based experience or make the front end experience a grid-based experience. And that actually might not be terrible. Would it? Would it be terrible? The thing I wouldn't want to have to do though is say like for sequencer that I'm going to say like, okay, I'm in grid mode. So on the front end on mobile, you see a grid, but something like, oh, these things are going to light up independently based on other users. I never want to send like user to user data. I only want to send user to backend, like user to broadcaster data. There's ways to do user to user, but I just don't even want to get into that can of worms. That idea doesn't sound too bad. Kind of into that idea. But I think I'm gonna sleep on it a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is probably go back here. And I'm gonna activate Heat. Go back to Heat version 0.1.0. Okay, I think we're back to normal Heat. Maybe? Are we back to regular good old-fashioned Heat? Oh, I gotta fix that double click thing too that you told me about, right? The like squash double clicks, if that's possible. I seem to not be getting any heat data though. What did I break? Now am I getting heat data? Yes, okay, my bad. Okay, yeah, so here's what I'm kind of thinking. That maybe is a middle ground solution for this is the following. It is that you can configure on the back end to say, I want the front end experience of this to be about specific point clicks, which would basically always be true for desktop. I guess not. I guess you could do grid-based there too. Or I want to have a grid-based mode. The thing then that's weird about that on mobile is the aspect ratio thing. Like, do I want it where it just squishes the grid like we're seeing here? Or do I want it where it is like you're scrolling on the grid or something like that? I don't know, man. How does any of this work? So heat sequence, so we're gonna need like to like just duplicate the sequencer, leave the old one as is, and just start a whole new jam, right? Like, which is probably fine. We're anticipating 15,000 viewers. I would not imagine that more than, I almost couldn't imagine at all that more than 10% of them would use heat during the stream, right? Like, if even that, it's probably like a smaller percentage of people would actually bother using it. So that doesn't seem too scary. I'm going to take a short break. So I'm going to push this button and we'll be back in a moment and we'll decide what to do next. What if I stopped doing streams about making things or working on things and just changed to like singing? And hopefully my voice stays low like this. And I can just do 100% like Twitch sings kind of streams. How does that sound? We just stop. Let's give up on this interactive stuff. We tried. It's a lot of trouble. Just don't do it anymore. Think about it. Okay. During the short break, I thought a little bit about some things. In particular, some things about where we are with the mobile aspect of this. It's tough because not only are you dealing with like a positional offset, you still always have the kind of temporal offset that you always have from Twitch. So that's just a problem. Like there's a fundamental problem of heat. Yeah, I could play guitar. What song should I sing? Should I just make up songs about you and Jacqueline? Fundamental core problem of heat continues to be the latency for anything that seems like it's supposed to be precise and interactive. So now you're not only have latency problems, but you also have positional problems. Like it's a pretty fundamental problem to the idea that's only kind of aggravated by this mobile problem. So the iOS thing is a real deal. But I guess I just emailed them and they put me on a list, maybe. It's pretty weird. I wonder what I actually need to do with that. Like how it seems like I'd have to do more than just give them my credentials. Like I'd have to whitelist something in some way, or maybe they handle that fully. Is that when they serve it, they've already whitelisted my developer account somehow? I don't know. It's a pretty weird thing. Seems not ideal. Dealing with Apple, not always ideal. Anyway, so the whole deal for the TwitchCon thing is to take this sequencer and do some work on it so that it can be more effective for this event they're planning, where they want live composers, video game composers, to play live with some tunes made by the audience using the heat sequencer. And so there's a lot to do to make it work better and sound better and all of this thing, or at least give more parameters to play with. And it's not a super long list, and it seems manageable, even though TwitchCon is in just like 20 days, 21 days, so 3 weeks. Yeah, basically 3 weeks. So part of it's going to just be, I'd probably just make a copy of this thing and just start a new approach, but I don't know if I actually want to tackle that right this minute, because I actually do need to finish the contract, so, or at least my statement of work. So, but that's what that's going to be. I think it could potentially be pretty cool, but man, the mobile part, I'm just not feeling it at this moment. I mean, it's tough. I mean, the most difficult part about that, you know what it is that presumably most people at the event will be on their phones. Like if you're at the event and you're watching this thing, you're probably going to be on your phone. And so if you can't participate in that context, it kind of sucks. Or maybe not. Maybe because of the nature of Twitch, you're just going to expect there to be way more remote viewers than people there. And if there's 100 people in the audience, that's kind of like not as important in some ways as the tens of thousands of people, or 15,000 at home. Like, Wait, what are you yaying? Sometimes I don't know what you're responding to. I'm bad at this. I think I've gotten rusty at this asymmetrical communication. What's the solution? Life is yours. What's the answer to all of this? Yeah, I mean, so here's another idea. Are you ready for this other idea? I have another idea, but I'm afraid to say it out loud because it's more work. But the other idea is that heat is how the normal audience outside of the room uses it, and that's no problem, and that just is what it is, and that's how it works. For the people that are there, why not just give them a zero latency real WebSocket connection? Like, why not just really let them talk without going through Twitch, without going through the video latency, without going through Twitch mobile? Like, let them just pull out their phones and go to a website, and then they can get immediate one-to-one real feedback. And shoot you? You want me to shoot you? Wait, where did that come from? Because if you're sitting there, the mobile latency is going to suck anyway. I don't think I need it. I think it's just a website. I mean, it's a WebSocket means to direct connect to this thing. I mean, it's going to be less secure and less robust. Shoot? Wait, what do you mean shoot? Still shoot? What are you saying? How does that sound? That for the people there, there's a thing that says, hey, everybody in the audience, you can control this more directly because you're here. So you go to www.twitchcon.heat.j38.net. I don't know. That feels like the best mobile solution for somebody sitting there, because otherwise it's going to be crazy, because you would be sitting there with your phone watching a video that there's already latency on, and then clicking and then having more latency. Like, oh, okay, shoot, give it to you. Okay, yes, I'm sorry. That makes more sense. Shit. I don't think... Yeah, right, got it. I understand. You just meant to say shoot, not shoot me. Yeah. No, I would talk to, so part of the reason I wanted to do this now is I wanted to validate the feasibility of this before I do this contract this afternoon, because I didn't want to say like, and part of the scope of work is that I will definitely add mobile support because maybe mobile support will suck. And now I'm kind of seeing like, yeah, mobile support kind of sucks, which maybe I'll add this as it is, but this will not, I guess what I'm proposing is that this would not be the primary mechanism by which people in the audience would interact. And you're right. No, that's a totally valid point, is maybe they're like, no, it's not good if it's not in the app. Because then it's not in their platform. I mean, it's still using it's still kind of using their platform because it goes to the platform. But yeah, you're right. It's not an extension anymore. It's just a connected experience, which still might be good. I mean, they still might be into that. Tricky business. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know that I'm ready to make any decisions on that right this minute. I think I need to think about it a little bit. So I think I'm going to call the stream because I'm hesitant to move forward because that's a pretty critical choice to make. But the better user experience is if just on your phone. Oh, well, I've never done this, but on your phone, you could essentially... Is this crazy? Yeah, this is probably crazy. I don't think I want to do this. But on your phone, you could essentially have the broadcaster view. You could essentially have the broadcaster view. The only issue right now is the broadcast review doesn't send to other broadcast reviews, right? So it only would run locally, but it would almost be like just show the broadcast review on everybody's phone in the room, which is maybe way too many clicks, and take those clicks and feed them into the main screen. I don't think that's the thing to do. The most important thing here out of all, Draclin, are you still around? Because there's a critical piece of information here that has to happen. Draclin, how can I page Draclin? I need a way to alert Draclin. I need to add like a Twitch Discord bot, or like, yeah, some kind of thing. This is crucial. This is a crucial discussion. It's really not. I hope I'm not bothering him while he's working. Well, thanks for alerting me. Good. You've got my attention. No, he's busy. He's doing serious work, serious business. Anyway, the thing we'll need is like, I will need to do some load testing for real. Because even if we say that there's going to be 15,000 viewers and we only think that absolute maximum that 10,000 people, I'm sorry, that 1,500 people would use it, it's really hard for me to imagine it's more than 10%. Even if we think that's absolute maximum, that's still 1,500 people potentially clicking their brains out. And I have personally definitely worked on WebSockety stuff that craps out way before that on single instances, like on Heroku and stuff, without spinning up a bunch of dynos. I've certainly crapped out at less than that. Oh, although I just remembered that was part of my design choice of Heat, was to not maintain a bunch of WebSocket connections that you are just sending clicks. So that is still a thing. Anyway, so Draclin's gonna have to spin up the clickerator and do some stuff. Amazon could help. I mean, Twitch is part of it. Yeah, this is an interesting kind of pocket of Twitch. You know, it's such a big organization that, like, I'm talking to the content development guy, the lead in charge of the content development. I think that's his title, but that's of course separate from like the engineers and logistics. Like maybe they're not even the same building or city or country, or who knows. But yeah, hopefully they could help on that a little bit. Anyway, okay, I know this is a weird stream. We didn't accomplish much. Draclin, where have you been all my life? Yes, you're just in time for it to end. No, here's the thing. An anticipated viewer count for the TwitchCon thing is 15,000. I'm assuming that not more. Alert, hello Draclin, come in. Alert from Draclin. I'm assuming that not more than 10% of people will use it, but that means that Heat needs to support 1,500 people simultaneously is important. So we're probably gonna have to like do some clickerator load testing if you're up for it, to try to break things. Some like high-speed clickerating. Oh, we might have to get Binary C to spin up some instances, some containers, some clickerator containers. Potentially, but ideally stress test not from a single location. So anyway, I have to figure out something like that. So if you're up for it, that might be helpful. Thinking it out is work as well. Life is yours. I'm glad you said that, because let's just pivot to a talk about work philosophy. There are lots of industries in which there is not an assumption that you will get paid for thinking, which is hard, because even in the realm that I'm in, I really have, so like my past sort of motion graphics realm, the idea of building a pitch and totally selling the client generally was like, oh, well, you do all that for free. And then when you're awarded the job, you make up for it. Like when you award the job, you kind of like take some of that money to cover the previous work, which I've never liked. And so I've been trying to move towards this idea of like, okay, we do whatever we need to do to land the job, but concepting, like the work of coming up with the ideas, should also be paid work. So I've been definitely moving towards that, but there's still always this thing of like, until there's a contract, you've got to do whatever work has to be done to like make the contract happen. And then you can't say like, okay, well, I had 20 hours before we got to the contract. Let me just bill you for that. It's a tricky thing. It's tough. Once I do have a job settled, I'd really try to, make sure that like brain power is paid for, but it's a little difficult. Requirements gathering. I know, but no, that's the thing is like realizing you have to do some work pre-contract to get the contract. But part of it is part of it's just language and fuzziness of like, okay, at the end of the day, I'll be paid for those hours. I just need to cover it somewhere else. But I don't want to do that hidden thing. This is not a good example of this job, but in other jobs, I don't want to do the thing where I'm not paid for ideas. Like I want it to be very explicit about, no, like concepting is an important thing that I do, and concepting costs money. And so that I've been trying to pivot towards that. Although in reality, here's the reality of what that actually ends up meaning. There's not a reasonable way for me to bill for concepting, because like my brain starts churning on something, and then it's going to churn on it when I'm in the shower or walking to work or while I'm sleeping or whatever. And it's very difficult to bill for that time. So what I end up doing is billing for the time that I'm documenting that, which so far kind of works, I think. No, that's fair. Yeah, like that's the traditional wisdom, is like you kind of put it into a buffer. No, I know. Yeah, you're right. The personal boundaries is real. That's a real thing. When I'm in a shower churning on these things, I often have to say like, wait a minute, my brain does not belong to them. They didn't buy my brain. I have to like make sure that my brain is doing the right thing. But that's but for creative work, sometimes that's just how creative work works. And so at a minimum, I want to charge for the documentation process, the documentation of the idea. So all the crazy, which is actually where the real work is, like it's all fuzzy and nebulous when it's in your head. It's when you sit down to actually make the proposal or actually do the designs or whatever. When you actually try to manifest things is when it, to me, is where the boundary happens. I think I froze again. Okay, I'm gonna stop this stream. Stream dead. Oh, right when I said the most essential, crucial things. It's right when I said the most important thing. I said the most life-changing things, Jacqueline, and it's just gone now. Sorry. It's not true. It was all things I've said before. Okay. Hopefully, these problems... audio video is out of sync. Terrible. I hope these problems are a network card thing. I'm going to try to update that now. Hopefully this didn't destroy the video, the stream archive, but I guess we'll see. Okay. Thanks for watching. I know this is a weird stream, but I guess all my streams are weird streams. Maybe one day I'll have a good, entertaining, robust stream, and that will be weird. Maybe. I do what I can. Have a lovely day.